All right, everyone, welcome back into another Flex Friday video. Going to be touching on the top prop bets for today on PrizePicks for your Flex Friday slip. Let's go ahead and get into it. So right now, I do want to start out with talking about some golf props that we have. I know typically speaking, I do NBA, but man, we are getting a big prop line difference, and this is something that we might see consistently. So right now, the Waste Management Phoenix Open is playing much easier than it typically does. It rained. They're not putting the pins in challenging locations in round one. Round two, that could flip. But I do just want to call it the prop line differences that we're getting. Again, we should never get a prop line difference in golf of more than one. Right now, we are currently getting that for Hideki, and I feel like this is a good example of the few times that I'll actually use a goblin that's available on PrizePicks. Okay, so right now you can see definitely want to bet the higher on underdog for Hideki for strokes. Okay, so what I did, because there's no good bets on the board right now. There just isn't, okay? No great bets, I should say. Good enough bets, sure. But I just really wanted to pair that edge because I know that it's going to be taken away eventually, and it's probably going to be taken away by the time most of you guys get here. But this is a good example of the few times I'll use a goblin, okay? If we get a massive difference like that, in which a prop we know is going to be adjusting. Okay, so this is one of the better goblins that we have, and so I did want to call that out. And then just another one we are getting as well, like this shouldn't be happening as well. Okay, so what you could do here is Sanjay M, something like this, where like we're just getting big edges right now. And honestly, I think my Flex Friday slip will be some variation of attacking this, because right now we're seeing a clear distinction between PrizePicks and underdog for golf. Like again, there should never be this. I do like that this is a 0.5. You guys know by now, I like to have prop bets that are either going to cash or not cash. And as we can see, like these 4.5 to 5.5, when we're looking at the edge, that's basically correct. It should be 5. Okay, so like I'm fine with really all these. Sanjay is the one player that I just don't expect to get hot. The other players could. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to place this bet here, and then I'm going to do the exact opposite on underdog or on PrizePicks as well. That's a good strategy. Now, while I'm talking about golf, I do just want to call out that right now we are getting some pretty good stroke prop lines, I would say. If the course is going to play easy, golfers like JT Poston, Benny Ann, Corey Connors, Bo Hosler, those are all golfers that were projected to play well this week. And we can see like Bo Hosler to Bing Will Lee, Bo Hosler's actually been the better golfer. And I really don't get that line. That's a very strange one. So like that's one I probably will be using on a Flex Friday. So Bo Hosler is currently playing well right now. Maybe the day is expecting him to regress, but no, that should not be any different. Benny Ann as well. Like these are just strange. They don't make sense, but that does happen sometimes. When round one, there was a weather delay. Round two started late. It's just a weird time of the year for golf, because obviously you only have certain hours in the day, and right now there's less. When weather is bad as well, it just makes it more difficult for the golfers to get in all the rounds. And I think that's also why we're seeing really strange data points right now. And so again, just with golf, just like going back to it, like if you want to use these prop line differences that we are getting, you can. Like I really don't mind just betting. You're betting on the course, and so like I really don't mind running out these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on PrizePicks. If you want to use that on your Flex Friday slip, knowing that you're getting an edge, like by all means, I think that's a fine strategy today. Just given the amount of bets that we are getting today, we're just not getting that many good ones. So guys, again, today for NBA, it's going to be more difficult just again with the trade deadline taking place yesterday. We still don't know minutes for a lot of players and teams. So some players were traded that were injured. We'll see if they're still injured. So it's going to be difficult to really gauge like which players precisely we should be on. Now looking at Atlanta, at least they didn't have any changes. And so the first one that's popping up is Anika for over his points, rebounds, and assists, 23.5. And the reason why it's popping up is twofold. One, Clint Capella is still out. Okay, that is a huge thing because Anika has been someone that will get more run. He's gotten 36, really 30 plus minutes over the last 3 games with Clint Capella out, which for him is huge. He also gets a very good matchup today going against Philly. And some of you guys might be like, well, no, it's not a good matchup. You got to remember, Joel Embiid's out. Okay, so that can be huge. Going to go against Paul Reed, and Paul Reed defense has not been the best. Mo Bamba defense really not that bad. So Anika to get over that, I'm perfectly happy to use that. That's really the only other good prop that I think we have today. I'm curious to see what his fantasy score is. And man, again, Jabari Smith Jr., it's just like, this is such a polarizing prop to me because the last time he was popping up for the under was the last slate, and he crushed his over that day. Now it's adjusted a little bit more. He does get a good matchup, I think, against Toronto, but with him, it's just the minutes. Like I think he got his over pretty much in the first half and then didn't do anything in the second half. So I can get behind the data telling us to bet the under. I just don't like this one just because I like Jabari Smith Jr. He's a good point per minute type producer. He's someone I like playing in DFS because of that. And so given the fact that the data is telling us to bet the under here, I don't know. I just don't exactly love that one here. What else are we getting? KCP for under 3 pointers made. That's a good EV bet right now. But yeah, we're just not getting that many prop bets. Gary Trent Jr. for under his fantasy score. Don't know if I exactly love that one. And so before I give you guys the bet of the day, I do just want to show you guys this. Like, the board is very tight right now. Like, fantasy score wise, as you guys hopefully know, that's where we get our biggest edge on the day-to-day basis. And looking at the props that we're getting right now for it, all of them seem to be correct. At least that's what the average sportsbook line is telling us. So again, a tighter day today. Not exactly one I would really want to attack. In college basketball, just as an FYI, we're not getting any fantasy score prop bets. That has been the case on Fridays for PrizePicks. They kind of know what they're doing. That's been a massive edge for us. And speaking of massive edge, man, Brandon Carlson yesterday, dude had a free throw at the end of the game to put his over fantasy score right there. But if he makes that, the game went into OT, and it was a late free throw that he missed. If he makes that, the game doesn't go into OT. He hits his over on PrizePicks, and he hits his under on Underdog. That was extremely tilting. Oh, man. Just because, obviously, the game went to OT, that was tilting. But then he crushes over on PrizePicks. But again, we're just not getting really any edges today. And it's super difficult to give you guys a bet of the day right now. And hopefully we just get some better prop bets. So I'm going to default to the 9 to 5 cheat sheet throughout the day. Like, I might hold off on doing a Flex Friday slip until kind of right before-ish, an hour before NBA. I think that's going to be the route that I go, just so that we have the highest amount of prop bets available at the time. And so to give you guys a bet of the day, this is what it would be right now. Okay. And then I would just attach one of those PGA props. Again, I don't know when or if those are going to be bumped. I'm assuming that most of them are going to be bumped, whether it be an Underdog or PrizePicks or maybe both. But right now, these are the two best that we have that I don't know if they'll get bumped or not. And again, guys, it's super tough, but that's really just the nature of the beast today. So that's going to be all for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm going to be defaulting to the 9 to 5 cheat sheet. If you guys want to sign up for that, $10 a month. If you're already doing a Flex Friday slip for $20, chances are, eventually it's going to pay for itself, whether it be next week, this week, a month from now. If you just have Flex Friday slips, it eventually pay for itself. All right, that's going to be all. Thanks for watching. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.